Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to learn about operational model of network security. So, talking about the network security model, this is very important to understand. If we understand this, means most of the things we will come to know. So, when we talk about network security model, so there is one sender and there is one receiver. Okay. So, there are two communicating parties, we can say. One is sender and one is receiver. Okay, and they agree to exchange information. Okay, they mutually agrees to exchange the information, right? Now the sender is having some information to send to the receiver. Okay, the sender is having some information which he wants to send to the receiver, but what is the issue here? That the sender cannot send the message or send the data directly to the receiver as it is, right? Because there may be some opponents, there may be some attackers present in between the session, and they can try to extract our original message, and they can do any alterations or anything they can do, right? So what is the solution for this? The solution for this is the sender should convert the message, okay, should convert the message into some non-readable format. Okay, the sender has to transform the original message into some non-readable format, so that if any opponent try to extract the message, okay, so even though if the opponent gets the unreadable format of data, he will not be able to extract the original message from that. Okay, so that is why this is the solution, that the sender should not send the original data as it is to the receiver. The sender has to transform the message, has to do the message transformation, okay, into unreadable format. Okay, so this is first step. Second thing, when we are when we are doing the message transformation, okay, when we are doing when the sender is doing the message transformation, transforming into non-readable format, at that time it will need some secret information, or we can call it as key. Okay, so the sender will need some key to encrypt the data, we can say, or to transform the data into non-readable format. Okay, so and the same key through which the message transformation is done by the sender, the same key will be also be required at the receiver end. Okay, to retransform, to decrypt the message at the receiver side, again to retransform the message retransform it into original form, right? So the receiver will need again the same key. Like for example, if suppose you have locked the door, okay, you have locked the door with a key, right? So definitely we know that the same key will be used to unlock that door also. Okay, so the same thing is happening here. The sender is locking the door, okay, is locking the message into some non-readable format, okay, and the receiver will try to unlock the same message, okay, will try to unlock the same message using the same key. Okay, with the same key only he will be able to unlock the message. Okay, he will be able to decrypt the message, otherwise it won't be possible to decrypt that message, right? So that is called as encryption and decryption. So here we can see in this diagram, there is a sender, this is our sender, this is the sender, and this is the receiver. Okay, sender is sending the message through the information channel, right? And this message, first of all, the sender cannot send the original message to the receiver, right? It has to perform some message transformation. Here you can see the word. The sender has to perform some message transformation, okay, transform it into non-readable format. Okay, and in order to transform it, we will need a key. Okay, we will need a secret information, or we will need a key, right? So this key, when it is used at the sender side, we are using this key to transform the message, okay, into non-readable format, to send it through information channel. Okay, and at the receiver end you can see the same message, the message that has been received need to be again retransformed. Okay, need to be again retransformed into the original message. Okay, so how you can perform the retransformation at so definitely we will need the same secret information, or we will need the same secret key as we have used here in the sender end. Okay, so this we can say that the sharing of the secret information, the sharing of the key at sender as well as at the receiver has to be done with a trusted third party, need to be done with a third party. That is, the trusted third party is required to distribute the key or required to share the key at the receiver end. Then only it is possible to unlock the message, or then only it is possible to retransform the message. Okay, otherwise it is not possible to decrypt the message, right? And at the same time, you can see here the opponent may be present, opponent or attackers may be present across the information channel to extract the messages, right? So if we are sending the transformed message, if you are sending a secure message, transformed message, okay, into a non-readable format, right, so then definitely it will be very difficult for the opponent or the attacker to extract the original message, right? So that is why here we need, see, so what, here we need three things, here we need 3 points, 3 things we need for the whole process. The first point is we need an algorithm. We need an algorithm. We need some algorithm at the sender end, okay, to transform the message or to encrypt the message, right? So we need some encryption algorithms, right? And the same algorithm can be used for decryption also. Okay, so first thing is we need an algorithm. Okay, here I'll write here we need an algorithm. Okay, second point, we need a key. Okay, we will need the key, right? So the key will be required to encrypt the message, and at the same key will be used to decrypt the message also. Okay, so without key it is not possible to encrypt the message, right? So we need 2 things, algorithm and the key. And the third thing we need is the key distribution mechanism. We need some key distribution mechanisms. Okay, here you can see this one, the trusted third party is doing. We need some key distribution mechanism to distribute the key or share the keys between the sender and the receiver. Okay, so here the complete information is written, what I have told to you. The first thing that we need an appropriate algorithm, okay, should be designed such that it should be difficult for an opponent to crack the security algorithm. Okay, so first we need an algorithm, second we need the key, okay, that is a secret one, and the key should not be go in the hands of the opponent, otherwise he will be able to decrypt the message easily, right? So this key has to be distributed to the receiver end very safely. Okay, that is again one issue, that is key distribution issue, how we can transmit the key from sender to receiver end. So that is why we need a trusted third party which can distribute the secret information to both sender and the receiver. Okay, and fourth point is we also have to take care about the communication protocols. Okay, so communicating parties, as we know that whenever the 2 parties are in communication, there will be some communication protocols will be used. So those communication protocols should support the security algorithm and the secret key, okay, in order to achieve the security service. Okay, now talking about network access security model, right, means the opponents that can access the network model, right? So there can be 2 kind of opponents, there can be 2 kind of attackers, okay, which can access this network security model. That is, first one is the hacker, second one is the intruder. Hackers are the people who are interested in penetrating into the system. Okay, they want to know the information, right? So they are satisfied once they get the information, means they are satisfied. So they just want to get access to the system, right? So that is the hacker. Intruders means they are not only trying to access the information, but they are also trying to get advantage. They are trying to take advantage from that information also, means they, after knowing the important credentials, after knowing the credit card numbers and obtaining, and so they can perform any illegal money transfers also, right? So they can do the modification in the messages, right? And means all the unethical activities also they can perform at the same end, right? So intruders and hackers both are dangerous, but we can say that intruders are much more dangerous than hackers, because they are illegally they are performing the unauthorized actions also they are performing, right? So that is again very so these are the two types of attackers. Now talking about the different kind of threats or the risks that are possible in the system. So the first one is information threat. This kind of threats modifies data on the user's behalf to which user should not access, like enabling some crucial permission in the system. Like suppose if your system has disabled the security, if suppose your system has enabled some antivirus softwares or something, right? So this information threat, what it can do means this will disable the antivirus software, okay, so that any malicious activities can take place in your system. Okay, so they are trying to means permissions, they are trying to enable the crucial permissions, or they are trying to disable the crucial permissions in the system, right? So that is the first one. Second is service threat, means this kind of threat disables the user from accessing data on the system. Service threat means the actual user also is not able to access the data, right, on the system. So that is the service threat. So these kind of threats can be introduced by launching worms and viruses and may more like this on your system. Okay, so this is possible through by the use of viruses and worms. People can reach to your system and they can penetrate into the system and they can enable or disable the crucial permissions in the system. Okay, they are disabling the user from accessing the data also. Okay, so these are the threats that are, or the risks that are possible in the network security model. So here in this diagram you can see that there are two kinds of opponents. One is human, okay, and humans can be either hacker or the intruders. Just now we have discussed. Okay, and the second kind of opponent is the software opponent, example viruses and worms, which also works in the same way. Okay, and they are trying to penetrate into the system and they are trying to either to corrupt the files, or they are trying to change the access permissions in the system, like that. Okay, so for all these things we need some security, we need some ways to secure our communication model, communicating parties, how we can secure the communication model itself, right? So there are two ways how we can protect our system. The first way is the gatekeeper function. Here you can see there should be some gatekeeper, there should be like the watchman or something we can say. So there should be some gatekeeper function which can which can monitor the traffic, incoming traffic, okay, and outgoing traffic in the system, right? And second thing, we need some internal security control. Okay, so here you can understand the first way to secure our system from attacker is to introduce the gatekeeper function. Gatekeeper function means, for example, either you can introduce some username and you can introduce you can introduce some login system, login ID and passwords, okay, and only the authorized users having the genuine users can only access the systems, okay, who are having the login IDs and passwords, they can only access your system. Unauthorized users cannot access the system. Okay, so this is the first way to block the unauthorized access to the system. Okay, another second way is if suppose even after this gatekeeper function also somebody unwanted person try to access your system, okay, get access to the system, okay, then the second way is to introduce some internal security control. Internal security control means which would detect the unwanted user, okay, that somebody is trying to access the system, right? So there should be some internal mechanism, there should be some internal intrusion detection system which can find out, which can analyze the system activities, okay, which can analyze the system activities and which can detect which can detect the unwanted people who are trying to access the system, right? So in this way we can, these are the two ways through which we can protect the system, through which we can identify the different possible threats to the network security systems. Okay, the first one is to introduce some gatekeeper function by providing some user IDs and login passwords like that. Okay, so that only authorized people, authorized users only can access to the system, right? Second point is, if suppose any unauthorized user get the access to your system, again there should be some second level of control should be there. Okay, that is the internal control mechanism should be there, which can detect or which can analyze the system activities, which people are accessing the system and which unauthorized people are accessing the system, like that. Okay, so through these two ways we can somewhat secure our system from the attackers. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.